Here's a story for everyone. On February 19th, 1973, the FDA forced a man to recall nearly 30,000 frozen pizzas from the market. The reason? A potential foodborne illness. The result? The owner of the pizzas decided to create a funeral for the mass burial of his beloved pies. This is the Great Michigan Pizza Funeral. Our story starts with Ilario Mario Fabbrini. Fabbrini is an Italian man who fled Fiume, Italy as a result of communist Yugoslavia rule after World War II. Moving to Sittic, Michigan, USA, a small town about 130 miles north of Flint, Michigan, Fabbrini started to make frozen pizzas as a source of income. Fabbrini and his wife Olga worked hard to perfect the Italian-American recipe, which must have worked because eventually, Fabbrini was able to open up a factory to mass-produce his pizzas. This was not even a decade of living in America. His factory was one of the largest pizza factories in the US, having the capacity to produce about 40,000 pizzas in a week. Like almost everyone, Fabbrini would buy his ingredients from different suppliers. In particular, Fabbrini would get his mushrooms from a Tolino Pizza Products. Tolino Pizza would get those mushrooms from the United Canning Company of East Palestine, Ohio. In January of 1973, workers at the United Canning Company noticed a great number of cans in their facility were swelling. This is bad news for canned products because this generally means there is some sort of contamination going on. The facility did just switch from manual to automatic canning, which may have been the cause of the swelling. United Canning contacted the Food and Drug Administration, who took samples of their mushrooms. The FDA would run tests, and in the following days they confirmed the presence of Clostridium botulinum in the product. Clostridium botulinum is commonly associated with swelling food cans. This bacteria contaminates the product, which then has the ability to produce the neurotoxin botulinum, or more commonly referred to as Botox. Yes, Botox is quite fatal to humans, though we have found ways to use it to our benefits. However, when Botox is ingested, the individual will get foodborne botulism, a potentially fatal illness. After the FDA confirmed botulism, they would contact customers of the United Canning Company for the recall of mushroom-based products. Tolino Pizza Products was made aware of the contamination, but it is unclear if they relayed that information to Fabbrini, though I presume so. Fabbrini was contacted by the FDA on February 19, 1973, where they said he must recall all of his products. As far as I know, these were only his mushroom-based ones. Fabbrini was pissed, but said he would not blame anyone for the occurrence. Fabbrini crunched some numbers and found that about 30,000 of his pizzas were potentially contaminated with the botulism. This would cost him around $30,000 in manufacturing costs and 60,000 smackaroos in total. Fabbrini was crushed, but he knew he had to take the loss. About 2 weeks after being contacted by the FDA, Papa Fabbrini finished gathering up all his pizzas and decided to do what anyone would do after losing a loved one: give them a proper burial. Fabbrini set up a local event for this great ceremonial pizza dumping. Several hundred people from the small village would attend the funeral. The event was even attended by the Michigan governor of the time, William Milliken. It's reported that Milliken stood in front of the crowd and gave a sermon about keeping courage in the face of tragedy. It is unclear how long the dumping took, but 4 dump trucks full of pizza eventually filled an 18-foot hole. At the end, Fabbrini apparently bestowed a frozen pizza to Milliken for his appearance and moving speech. According to multiple news articles of the event, Fabbrini also cooked some pizzas on the sideline for his attended guests. When one individual questioned the safety of eating Fabbrini's pizzas, Fabbrini stated, "Well, Governor Milliken ate a piece, and he's still alive." A true legend. It isn't totally clear why Papa Fabbrini decided to have this event, likely for publicity, though some speculate this was also to take accountability and show pride in his business. To put the pep on top of this pizza, shortly after Fabbrini's pizza funeral, the FDA retracted their finding and ultimately concluded there wasn't botulism found within the United Canning mushrooms. You see, the FDA apparently used rats to test mushrooms from United Canning. The FDA thought the rats had died from botulism initially, but after the full report came back, the rats actually died from a similar but unrelated cause, a cause unrelated to the mushrooms. Interestingly, before the pizza funeral and before the FDA even received their final results, 17 people claimed to have gotten sick from eating Papa Fabbrini's pizzas, an interesting small case of presumed mass hysteria. How did Fabbrini take the news that his pizzas were unjustly euthanized? Fabbrini said that if the mice didn't die from botulism, maybe they just didn't like his pizza, as he joked to the press. Though Fabbrini previously said it wasn't anyone to blame, he did take legal action against both Tolino Pizza Products and the United Canning Company. Starting a $1 million lawsuit in 1972, 7 years later he would finally settle the case. Papa Fabbrini was only awarded $211,000 after settling, with the rest having gone towards legal fees. Throughout the whole lawsuit, Fabbrini did stay in business and continued making his frozen pies. He kept the business alive despite the obvious setback. Sometime in the early 1980s, however, and for unknown reasons, Papa Fabbrini Pizzas went out of business, and Fabbrini sold the assets for just $5,000. Today, Mr. Fabbrini appears to still be alive, residing in San Diego, California, and will be 90 in November. This is one of my favorite stories of loss, hardship, and cellophane-wrapped pizzas. What are your thoughts on the Great Michigan Pizza Funeral? I'd love to talk about it in the comments. Thank you for watching this video, and if you want to see more content like this, why not subscribe to the channel? If you have any other suggestions for content, leave me a comment or email me at mt.caveat@gmail.com. Have a great day, guys, and remember, sometimes pineapple isn't the only thing that doesn't belong on pizza.